here we're going to be talking all about dividing fractions. And we've kind of almost gotten into this a little bit before. Remember whenever we did some examples and we said things like, okay, what is half of 10? Well, half of 10 would be 5, right? And then we said, well, what is half of 6? And half of 6 would be 3. So it looks like we're doing division, right? It looks like whenever we take half of 10 that we're actually dividing 10 by 2. And we're dividing 6 by 2 to get the 5 and the 3. That's what it looks like. But if you think about our wording, we said we were taking half of. When you take half of something, that means that you're multiplying by 1/2, because remember, of is our key word that means multiply. So we have to be, kind of aware of that. Now, if I can divide by 2, so if I could say 10 divided by 2, or if I could say 10 times 1/2, and those are the exact same thing, can we see then that dividing by a number is really the exact same thing as multiplying by its reciprocal? If we needed to see another example, let's pick the number 9. And what if I wanted to know 1/3 of 9? Well, I could either take 9 divided by 3, which would be 3, or I could say 9 times 1/3, because times 1/3 means of, right? Here again, dividing by the number or multiplying by the reciprocal, or what's called the reciprocal, the flip of it, are the exact same thing. This is going to help us whenever we start dividing fractions. Okay, so down here I wrote dividing by a number or multiplying by the reciprocal are the exact same thing. Now, the official definition of a reciprocal is this. It says two numbers are reciprocals of each other if their product is 1. So when it says their product is 1, meaning 2 and 1/2 are reciprocals of each other, because if I were to multiply those together, in order to do that, I would have to put the 2 over 1 so we could see a numerator and a denominator. And if we multiplied, remember, we can do some canceling first. We've got a 2 goes into 2 once and 2 goes into 2 once. So we have 1 times 1 is 1 over 1 times 1 is 1, and that's just 1. When you multiply reciprocals, you always get an answer of 1. Now, thinking about reciprocals that way is a little bit more challenging. It's actually much easier just to think about flipping the fraction, which means to interchange the numerator and the denominator. Okay, so let's do some practice here. Here we have a problem, a number that says 3 over 4, 3/4, and we want to find the reciprocal of it. Well, remember, the easier way to think about it is we just flip the fraction. So the reciprocal would be 4 over 3. And if you wanted to check that, you absolutely could, because 3/4 times 4 over 3, well, look what happens. Your 4's would cancel, your 3's would cancel, and now you have 1 over 1, which is 1. Now for our next one here, it says we have 9 over 4, 9/4. The reciprocal is where we would switch, again, the numerator and the denominator, so that would be 4 over 9. Now the last one is a little bit trickier. It says the number 16. Well, it does have a reciprocal, but it may be a little bit more difficult to think about it whenever we're talking about a whole number. What we could do is we could put that whole number over 1. So 16 over 1 is the same thing as saying 16, and then to find the reciprocal, we would flip the fraction over and make it 1 over 16.